Okay, so this was a very, very busy Raw. Not because they had a tremendous amount of matches. All the matches kind of built up to the TLC pay-per-view, but they also spent a lot of time with the Slammy Awards. So, Slammy Awards. For the most part, if you're a member of the Shield, you did a pretty good job. They cleaned up in the majority of categories. It was weird seeing Roman Reigns Superstar of the Year over John Cena. Surprised it wasn't Cena, because it normally is Cena. You know, like the OMG, LOL, holy crap, you know, a lot of the moments of the year that felt like they could have all been in the same category were kind of pointless. LOL moment of the year being a current ongoing theme, not truly a moment, since it is still going on. So I guess the LOL character of the year was missed out. Of course, Miz talking over through it made sense. Match of the year. That list sucked. I'm sorry. If you wanted to do a John Cena Bray Wyatt match, their Mania match was much better than their Last Man Standing match. In fact, it wasn't even Wyatt's best match of the year. The Shield and the Wyatts, it was amazing. Wyatt Daniel Bryan was Wyatt's best singles match of the year. Extreme moment of the year, the high crossbody off the top of the cage. You know, it is what it is. A lot of the matches were very, very short and pretty much just took people who were in the pay-per-view and put them in matches. Ziggler, Rollins, awesome match. Two guys know how to work. I'm getting kind of tired of J&J security getting involved, but Ziggler won the match. Rollins won the match. Worked well. I was like, alright, it's good. Worked. Rowan and Harper had a one-on-one match. Felt like she had a lot more build-up than this. I think they had no idea what to do with Rowan. He's the gentle giant who's a simpleton, but he's super intelligent and has like a Mensa background. He went from being the guy who was the stalker of Renee Young to super strong Rain Man. His match with Harper, of course, ended in DQ, because that's a Harper wins match. Loses match, and now it's by DQ. Of course, ended involving steel stairs and a ladder. Hyping up the stairs match for Rowan and Big Show, which I'll think is going to be a brutal match. Thinking Show needs the win more, because he hasn't really done anything for the better part of a year. But they're trying to build Rowan, so that one's kind of a toss-up. Harper, Ziggler, ladder. I have a feeling that match has got two fantastic workers and a beautiful thing in a freaking ladder for the IC title. That is your Shawn Michaels Razor Ramon for this era. That match is going to be epic. Do I picture someone getting involved in screwing Ziggler out of the opportunity to win? Potentially. You know, they're keeping the remnants of the Authority together. I don't think it's quite Ziggler's time to regain that title yet. I don't think it's his time yet. I think that he needs to, if he doesn't have it going into the Royal Rumble, people think that he might actually win the Royal Rumble. Or have a pretty good shot at it. If he doesn't win it at TLC, I picture him winning it at the Royal Rumble. That way he can have that through into WrestleMania season. Show took on John Cena again. In a match that was okay. It was an okay match. Ended, of course, with the massive cluster of, okay, now we're going to have Rollins jump in, then we're going to have, someone attack Rollins, there's J&J security, then we have pretty much Team Authority and Team Cena battled again. With Team Authority standing tall. John Cena, Seth Rollins, tables match. John Cena's not done very well at tables matches at TLC. Most notably when he lost the title to an up-and-coming Sheamus in 2009. If Rollins wins, then when Lesnar shows up for January, who's he going to face? Yeah, that's a big toss. It would be awesome if Randy Orton were to make a re-debut, show up, attack Cena, put Cena through a table, so he's not #1 contender, and then attack Seth Rollins. And with that, you can be like, guess what? I beat you, John. You're not number one contender. Oh, and Seth Rollins, I didn't forget about you. I'm killing you. Screwed him out of the title shot. I'm going to kill you next. I was like, that for me, that works. Bray Wyatt cut a great promo about a chair being destroyed. Probably one of the best inanimate objects being destroyed promos I think I've ever seen. And then Ambrose came down and just whooped the holy daylights out of Bray Wyatt, like chucking chairs, everything. Those two guys, I think, are gonna go as close to they can to an ECW, CZW, please don't kill me, bro, sort of match. That is going to be the #1 match. And the nice thing is, they both so desperately need a win. Bray needs the win because he has not had a successful feud pretty much since he debuted. Dean needs the win because he has to keep that momentum going. But I think a Bray victory does a lot more for those two heading into Royal Rumble, Elimination Chamber, and whatever sort of craziness they're going to have those two guys involved with when it comes to WrestleMania. Kane, Miz, and Mizdow teamed up against the Usos and Ryback in a match that just was all Mizdow. Mizdow freaking made that match. Ended with Ryback getting the victory, we didn't get the pinfall, but still that match was just fantastic. I think Usos versus Miz and Mizdow, decent match. I don't picture Miz and Miz are dropping the titles just yet. I think they'll continue the Naomi-Miz sort of angle. You know, it's a decent thing. It actually adds a little bit more towards their title feud, and actually uses one of the divas, which is good. You want to do that. Charlotte took on Natalya in a decent match. They've had much better matches, but it was a decent match with Natalya getting a roll-up victory. It was good. Good, technical, clean, worked well. AJ took on Summer Rae after AJ won Diva of the Year, with no CM Punk chance. The nice thing, of course, was AJ cutting a really solid promo. It was like, you can be a tomboy nerd and still be Diva of the Year. And she is, if you don't know, she is a comic book, gaming, anime fan. So beyond being like super tiny and petite, she's into like everything that guys are into. She pretty much just steamrolled her way through Summer Rae. And of course, she's taking on Nikki. I don't picture Nikki dropping the title this fast. They hop with that title way too much. I picture some sort of screw job with the Bellas involved because, they're doing something. Have I covered the majority of matches that we got for the paper yet? There's a tables match, talking about ladders match, TLC match. Oh yeah, that's right, chairs. Kane and Ryback. I'll go with Ryback because Kane doesn't win matches now. He doesn't. Kane has become the new Brooklyn Brawler. Kane is your new high-class jobber. He's the jobber to the stars and would-be stars. If I were to sign a contract, I'm pretty sure I could get the pinfall victory over Kane right now. So that's what he does. Kane loses matches. At this point, you could do a tag team of Kane and like Zack Ryder. And people would be like, well, who's going to get pinned? I don't know. They're the two perennial losers. It's going to be Ryback. He'll probably hit like a shell shock through a chair or onto a chair. Thinking their match is going to be okay. It is kind of like, behold TLC as the random pay-per-view. Man, Kane hit Ryback with the steel chair. Chairs match. Harper brought in a ladder to the ring because he always uses ladders. Eric Rowan through Steel Steps Big Show. Stair match. The Divas match really need to have some sort of weird, crazy stipulation to it. Imagine if the Divas match for the title was a tables match. Pretty intense, huh? Oh, and Kofi took on Stardust. I liked the New Day gimmick. I thought the promo they did on SmackDown was actually pretty good. I do think it is odd that the Dust talked about the darkness the whole time. And it was like, I don't know if I'm a huge fan of lots of comments about darkness. When initially they didn't let the New Day debut because of what was going on with Ferguson. I could have seen more if this was talking about the darkness of space. You know, the empty void of space, or the negative space. Using those sorts of words. I'm like, we don't understand your positive message because of the negative void of space. You know, something kind of like that, instead of the darkness. And Big E needs to quit like the Jesse Jackson. You know what? He needs to drop that, like, now. Xavier Woods, nice, crisp, clean promo. Kofi Kingston, nice, crisp, clean promo. Big E over the top. They'll be taking out the Dust in the kickoff show. So, the Dust went from being tag champs. Last year when they had the storyline where they got fired and then rehired and had to defeat the Shield, and they were like the top tag team. Tremendous amount of, great will towards them. Cody's like, I'm just not good enough for you. Comes back with Stardust gimmick. Crowd freaking loves it. A few months later, they get no pop at all, and they're on the kickoff show for TLC. You might as well give the fight to the New Day. They need to get a couple of quick ones under their belt, and so far they've won quite a few matches. You let them win, so then they can go into Royal Rumble. They can be eliminated by the Dusts, continue into another match, maybe work into a Fatal 4-Way elimination for the tag belts at WrestleMania.